Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network. We have some physique updates from none other than Mr. Four-time classic physique Olympia champion Chris Bumstead. Now, he's not showing off too much. I'm not going to toot your horn too much, but the most recent one on the left in the black and gray, he's showing off some ab shots, and I genuinely think that this is quite impressive. And you got to remember, I think the big important piece here that maybe some people are missing is he's 4 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia, right? 4 weeks out, almost 3.5 if you're being, very modest with the time, with the countdown. You got to think with the new height and weight restrictions being added, especially for the taller guys, you got a whole 7 pounds for, I think it was anyone over 6 foot got almost 7 whole pounds. So you got to think, what does Mr. Four-time classic physique Olympia champion Chris Bumstead, what does he look like with 7 extra pounds of stage weight in 1 year? That's my question. I'll leave to you. It definitely is something that I'd love to hear in your thoughts and your comments in the comment sections below. In the right, we have a little bit of an older photo still coming into the show, about 6 or 7 weeks out, around September 30th, I do believe that photo was taken from. Not showing the legs, which isn't a huge deal, but just showing the thickness and density that he has with that added weight cap. I genuinely think it's going to be a huge game changer. I don't think anyone was close to beating Chris Bumstead last year, and with this added muscle, it's really going to separate him from the other competition, even though everyone else is going to have a chance to get the extra weight as well. Moving into men's open, which I know that's what you came here for, we have a very good physique update from Nathan DeAsha. And I saw another outlet talking about this on Instagram. He was talking about it's been 5 years in the making that it's been since Nathan DeAsha has stepped on stage at the Mr. Olympia. And you got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, he's won 11 pro shows, and he's only been able to do the Mr. Olympia just a couple times. It was, I think it was less than 3 times. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment sections below. Please do. But looking at this most recent physique update, I would say that Nathan DeAsha looks exactly as I expect him to look this far out from the show. Nathan is what some people would call a hyper responder when it comes to prep, and he really does lean out significantly and very aggressively coming into show prep, coming into, a week out. A lot of guys, they really get depleted, they really get flat, and they don't look that great. And then the week of, they start introducing a little bit more carbs, they start cutting down the water, they just really start to perfect that physique coming into peak week or hell week. Remember, do you guys remember that a couple years ago? People were arguing, about whether or not to call peak week or hell week. I remember that. Anyways, funny stuff you remember over the years of commentating on pro bodybuilding. But the question here, and this is actually what I want to hear from you guys, ladies and gentlemen, down below, is where do you expect Nathan DeAsha to place in this upcoming Mr. Olympia? You got to think he hasn't been at the Olympia in a while, and there's a lot of newcomers, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of newcomers coming into this Mr. Olympia that I think are going to really push Nathan DeAsha. And there's also one person specifically in mind coming up just in this next article, this next story here on this episode, that has a very similar physique to Nathan DeAsha, but I think, in my personal opinion, it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and that's Justin Shier. After winning the Chicago Pro, I believe it was, he is set to make his Olympia debut this year at the 2023 Mr. Olympia as it returns to Orlando, Florida, November 2nd through 5th, I do believe. And if you guys are going, definitely let me know. I actually just purchased a new backpack, so I will not have my purple backpack. I'll have a camera backpack for the media equipment. But I genuinely think Justin Shier here is going to do phenomenal at this Olympia. He has one of my favorite physiques. The flow, the structure, the aesthetics, the symmetry. the conditioning. I know he's, as we switch over to some different shots, I know in recent history, he said that he doesn't try to diet down too hard because he doesn't want to lose the fullness. Same thing with James Hollingshead. He's got the same situation where he doesn't want to over diet and then lose the flow and lose the structure. I think it's a good strategy for him. I think he's going to do very well. We'll look and see what my top 10 predictions are going to be. But I think a guy that everyone, absolutely everyone, is going to have an absolute field day trying to beat is this dude here, Derek Lunsford, coming into technically his first full season as an open pro after the special invitation last year. He plays second. He's got that qualification for this year. He's yet to win an open show, but hey, it's whatever. Maybe I'm just old school. Maybe I'm just old thinking like that. But we have some very impressive physique updates from Derek Lunsford. And good golly, this guy looks like he could win the Olympia. I mean, you look at the conditioning already. I would say he's not where he needs to be, in my opinion, for conditioning. But maybe that's the game that they're playing this year. Maybe they're pushing the size. Maybe they're doing like, what was that? Like 2020, Brandon Curry played the size game right after 2019, where he had arguably his best Olympia package ever. I think that's when he won. And then 2020, he played the size. And then 2021, he played conditioning with the yellow posing trunks. It looked phenomenal. My favorite package so far. Anyways, love the guy. Hope he does well. I saw some recent physique updates. Stay tuned for that. Probably drop those tomorrow. But Derek Lunsford, again, just sharing these amazing physique updates. And my question to you is, with what he's doing now, with the strategy him and Hani, right? Hani Rambod are bringing to this year's Olympia, is that going to be enough for him to beat out all the other guys coming up? And you got to think Samson Dauda is also super hungry, looking phenomenal in those physique updates on Instagram. I mean, there's so many super impressive dudes coming into this lineup. You got to think the Mr. Olympia competition continues to be more impressive and more exciting year after year. I'm super excited to be there. I'll be cracked out on coffee and whatever I can find, some nootropics. I don't know what I'm going to need to keep my energy high, but it's going to be, 18-hour days, 16-hour days, just absolutely crushing it, getting those interviews out for you beautiful people and making sure that they're uploaded in a timely manner. So stay tuned to the Bodybuilding News Network for all your up-to-date Olympia news, as we are around 3.5 weeks out from the 2023 Mr. Olympia competition as it returns to Orlando, Florida. If you enjoy this style of content, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It really does help the channel grow, and we're trying to hit some huge numbers in the next 4 weeks. So I do appreciate all the help. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the Olympia weekend, and follow us on Instagram for more up-to-date updates. We do post some pictures, sneak peeking at some topics of what we talk about on these videos. And also let me know your side-by-side comparisons of who you want to see in our lead up to our open Olympia prediction video of exactly where we expect people to place. But that'll do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network, Josh Sanch, and I'll see you in the next one.